Hey, what's up? On today's episode of Coffee and Blunts with BG, we're going to talk about coronavirus. And we're going to talk about how Tony Romo got a contract before Dak Prescott. Because I had called, I said that Dak Prescott would get his contract by the end of this week, only the talks had started back up. But then CBS released airborne, the Tony Romo contract coronavirus. Learn how you can deal with it, wash your hands and avoid it, and not catch it on your phone this week. You watching Coffee and Blunts with BG, baby. Let's get to the episode. Hey, what's going on, Cowboy Nation? Good morning. It's BG, the Cowboys Unifier. I want to thank you for joining me on Coffee and Blunts this morning. It's Monday morning, and we've already had 2 reported deaths in the United States thanks to the coronavirus. But in other news, on Friday, CBS made Tony Romo the most paid announcer in NFL history with a $17 million contract. And this is what I need y'all to do. We need to pay attention today because you're going to have to learn how to avoid the Tony Romo contract coronavirus on social media today. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and kick it off. You know, I got a new show format now. I'm trying to do this in HD. You know, I've been doing my shows on live and, you know, with the interaction and everything, but we're doing something a little bit different today. I've got some notes, as you can't see. For the last couple of days, I prepared for this video. I've been looking at some numbers and been doing some things, and we're going to get some content going on this YouTube channel that's going to be more worthwhile because, you know, the skipping and all of that stuff on the live things, I really didn't like that. So today, we're going to talk about the Tony Romo corona contract virus that was birthed by CBS on Friday. Now, let's back up before we get into that. As y'all know, I always like to rock my Sirius XM, especially on my live shows, but we're going to rock it on the video too as well. Channel 43, Sirius XM. You know I am a brand ambassador, baby. Click the subscription link down in the box below and get your free 90-day subscription today, courtesy of Sirius XM. But on Friday, you know, news broke that Tony Romo was paid $17 million in upwards of almost of a 10-year contract that's going to pretty much butter his bread for the rest of his career there. Definite game changer. And with that, there was a lot of fallout with the players. And I blame that on the uneducation of the players outside of the lines of the game when it comes to business and football. Not that I would know personally, but from a fly on the wall looking outside from some of the reactions, as you can see that I'll put up on here, you know, you have players like kid out of New Orleans, can't guard Mike, wanted to come on there, Mike Williams, I believe is his name, said, how can he get paid more than any other player in the NFL or whatever, something like that. Yeah, even that OBJ come on there talking about, man, I just need to go and be an announcer now. So there was a lot of chitter chatter among social media around this topic. But last week, going back to last week, I had done on my last video, I had said that Dak Prescott would we probably learn something by the end of this week, Sunday being yesterday, about Dak's contract, right? And, you know, that didn't happen. I guess the negotiations opened back up. But I thought since the combine was going to be out, you know, with the new hype and everything, we'd start to see a little bit more. Maybe we'd get some numbers and get some traction on that. But rumor coming out of Dallas now, rumor coming out online is that we're going to use an exclusive franchise tag on Dak Prescott, possibly being able to pay Amari Cooper and then going from there. Well, I don't really know a whole lot about the franchise tag. I know the exclusive franchise tag, they got to pay him an average of the top 5 quarterbacks, I think, in the league. And I think it's for 1 year. So it gives him the opportunity to be able to do that. But knowing Dak Prescott, he's been bulletproof since last season, and I talk about this. That he's been running around one injury away from being unserviceable. So with that being said, what happened when Tony Romo got paid was it created the Tony Romo coronavirus. The Tony Romo contract coronavirus, right? Sent the social media organism into a buzz. How can he get paid this much? That's crazy. You know, people are saying, hey, he signed. People are like, oh, he signed with the Cowboys again. How'd he get that much money? He's technically making more money than he did the last 3 years. It sounds like, if I done my research correctly, more than he got paid while he was in Dallas. But with that being said, let's go to some of the notes that I took here, because Forbes came out with an article, and that was written by by Alex Reamer over at Forbes. And here's some of the stats that he said. He says the NFL generates $16 billion annually. Currently, 16 billion with a B. Like a blood. 16 billion. By 2027, their goal is 25 billion. It says nearly 60% of the players in the league earn a league minimum right now. And NFL owners do not treat players as partners. They just strong arm them at the table every time. And here's another example of how not knowing the business outside of the NFL game, the lines of the game, players are losing out on money because they're kept held in the dark. They're not, they're not being educated on that. So I wanted to talk to you about that today. Don't catch the Tony Romo contract coronavirus today online. As you see, you need to get educated on, how the game works, how you get paid in the game, and how you get paid outside the game. And so that led Tony Romo to getting a contract before Dak Prescott. So with that being said, I think if Dak gets franchised, we're probably not going to see him at these voluntary spring workouts starting in April. And that starts on April 6th. So, what say you, Cowboy Nation? It's kind of a little bit weird because I'm not on live. I don't have you guys to be able to interact with. So, I'm kind of doing this as a one shot. I don't want to cut it up because on the lives, that's why I really do the lives like that, is because it's all natural. It's all organic right on the spot. But we'll grow, we'll show, improve. You know what I'm saying? Just like this Tony Romo contract coronavirus that everybody has seen the guide on. How can he get paid this much? Everybody's just going crazy. What happened? Why? How did he get paid? Oh, he's robbing them. Oh, and this goes for all them Cowboy fans who thought Tony Romo would come back and coach. Thought he would come back and consult. Tony Romo don't want none of that stuff going on in the Star, man. There's plenty of money outside of the game of football. And if clearly you don't know by now, once you caught the Tony Romo contract coronavirus, you'll understand why. Make sure you wash your hands today before you get out there and you go play around in the world on your phone. There's a lot of things going on. All seriousness, the 2 deaths reported in Washington State here is a county right over from the county that I live in. It hits too close to home. So my thoughts and prayers go out to everybody affected by that. But for all my Cowboy fans, don't catch the Tony Romo contract coronavirus today on your cell phones. Wash your hands before you post. And make sure you're educated so you know the most. This BG the Cowboys Unifier, baby. You know I like my coffee black and I like my cash green, baby. If you're breathing, you achieving. I want to make sure that you subscribe, comment, and like this video. It's a work in progress, y'all. We're going to have some more content here as you join me. And we've traveled this road to 1,000 subscribers so we can go live on the phone. You learned all about the Tony Romo contract coronavirus today and how he got a contract by CBS before Dak Prescott did by the Star. Because Dak Prescott is bulletproof. He ain't finna catch that virus. Let's watch as these days unfold. Stay safe out there, Cowboy Nation.
This doesn't happen very often. You're going to enjoy this one.